Hello, Bag Chase family. It's your boy, Reckless Ray De Niro. We are back for another portfolio update on Sunday, January 29th. That's when we find you. First, we're going to get to the housekeeping. We're going to shout out the Bag Chasers first because they will be getting this first day of Thursday, January 29th. Reason being, I am a bag chaser myself. That is not a Patreon group that I am the owner of. It's a Patreon group that I am a part of. The Bag Chasers is Anton of AntonDaniels.com's Patreon group. Definitely some good networking, exclusive access to episodes, exclusive access to some game that he does not share publicly. Me personally, I am not big on just absorbing content for the hell of absorbing content, but there is a bunch of information to learn in there and a bunch of really good networking and a bunch of really great people in the Discord, which is where I spend most of my time. Obviously, in the cryptocurrency section. Every once in a while, you'll see me in other sections, but usually in the cryptocurrency section. In order to reach out to me directly, you will need to approach via the Discord. That's where I will be answering personal questions directly. If you would like questions answered on one of the segments, you can email me at recklessraydenaro@gmail.com. Links to the Patreon group and the email are down in the video description. Also, ways to connect with me on other platforms are down in the video description. If you found yourself here, make sure to like and subscribe. General public, you will be getting this on Wednesday, February 1st. So for those of you who are getting it late, you are going to be getting it the 1st of February, which is also my birthday month. So early happy birthday to me would be nice. Nice little birthday boost if we could hit 100 subs. I do have some Easter eggs as we're going through on some key metric numbers, 100 subs being one of them. So there's going to be some surprises for the 100th sub. Something to think about. For those of you who are getting this on Wednesday, definitely as you have come in, like, subscribe, share. We're always looking to add. We don't want to get rich by ourselves. So with that said, let's get into the episode. Things that have changed this week. We're looking at it, obviously. We are still sitting in profit. There's a little bit of a pullback there. Nothing's a straight line up. And that is an important thing to understand. Stuff does not go up forever. Stuff does not go down forever. Unless you have caught a dud. If you are in a dud position on a really crappy coin or a really bad play, that can go to zero. But generally speaking, if it's something that you're long term, and I always tell people, minimal amount of money in the risky stuff. Gambling funds in the risky stuff. It's just not. There's so much easy money to be had in this market. Like if you are in crypto, if you're new to crypto, the boring stuff will make you a lot of money here because we're so early. There's no reason to go chasing after junk. Like, I mean, if you're gambling, you're not going to get rich tomorrow. It's not going to happen. It's not going to happen. But what you can do is over 4 to 5 year periods, you can double your money. And so the thing you have to look at, and it's one of the mindset shifts that I have made this year for this portfolio, is previously I was looking at income, and I do still have a passive income goal for within the space, but I wasn't using the income to begin with. So that's the first thing. But this is a wealth multiplication tool, not an income generation tool. If you are looking to get into the crypto space to generate income that you need, don't be here. It will not work. It's not sustainable. And by the time it is sustainable, the amount that you're going to have is going to be exponentially higher than what you have now. But what you can do is use this as a wealth multiplication tool. So I am still following the same plan that I lined out, and but the tweak that I have made is, and what you're going to notice is my cash holdings are going to shrink to a very minuscule amount. What I'm doing is I'm still this year I am only buying Ethereum. That's my entry into the market. And then once we hit the certain metrics, just like I lined out in the strategy, it gets moved over and I leverage that at 50% to invest in the market. So all my plays are coming off of that. So everything that I'm buying up front is Ethereum. Those all my buys are Ethereum. I am leveraging the Ethereum that I am buying and then using those leveraged funds to fund all the other positions. So my positions are coming in a little bit slower than I would like. I honestly, it's making me uncomfortable, and that is why I'm leaning into it, because I want to rush and get all my stuff done. And it's like, well, you need to hit your target market marks so that you can get the income release to go do that. But the thing that I've switched out is everything that I take when I take profits are getting converted. Instead of holding it in a cash pool, I am holding it in Bitcoin. So I am buying into ETH and then saving into and capturing those gains into Bitcoin, because whatever Bitcoin does, everything else is going to do. And I don't want to be sitting in dollars. We've had a lot of back and forth in the media. There's been a media FUD cycle on stable coins. And it came to the conclusion that I'm like, well, if this isn't income generation, then I have no need to hold any dollars, because this is wealth multiplication. What's the core that's going to multiply? Bitcoin. Bitcoin is this market. So looking at it from that perspective, there's no reason, if I'm not fully utilizing those dollars, to hold them until I go pay my loan back. I can hold it in Bitcoin, and as Bitcoin runs up, then I'm going to get added value. And once we hit the bull run and it's time to pay back the loan on the ETH to release my Ethereum to do this all over again, I will be in a position where I'll capture that growth, and while I'm waiting, I am also getting passive gains on top of that. So that's where I'm at currently. And as we can see, we're still sitting at 30%. We're well into the green. It's because I'm doing things slow and boring. Like, it's so slow and boring for me this year. So slow and so boring. But those are the breaks, and like, we're following the plan and it's working. It's just not as entertaining. Like, this is doing things this way, even as much stuff as we have going on, is very boring for me from what I'm used to, having done this for 10 years. Because like, I'm used to the glitz. You get greedy, there's massive upside and you're rich, and then there's massive downside and you're broke again and you got to be at McDonald's. And I'm trying to eliminate that, because that's going to be the differentiator between the people that are in this field that are gambling and will tell you about their wins, but they don't tell you about their loss. And most people do this in most things. But I'm trying to curtail myself something a little bit more sophisticated, something a little bit more stabilized, because I have my goals lined out. And like, if I can hit those metrics, then like, I'm fighting my way out of the matrix here. And I'm technically, cryptocurrency is completely outside of the matrix, because it doesn't function the same way traditional finance does. And the way that I explain it to people is, the stuff that you do in traditional finance, if you are disciplined and you have a head about you that is capable of being disciplined with finances and being able to look at numbers go up and down and not have it emotionally affect you, the difference is the stuff that you do in the traditional market, if you apply it to the crypto market, has the multiples on the gains that you get are just astronomical in comparison. Like, and there's just no comparison at all. Like, the traditional market just doesn't move that fast. Like, it's not as volatile. So as we're getting into this, we're we're gonna go through and look at some of the moves that were made this week. So the first thing we'll notice is pretty much everything is exactly where it was. Like we're kind of moving a little bit sideways. So these are about the same. This has come down a little bit, and the wrap Bitcoin has gone up a little bit. So you'll see this position and this position grow, but the way that this works now is a little bit tricky, but it will grow as we're scalping. And so one of the things was we hit a metric of over 100% on my wire. And so like we're already hitting 100% gangs. This is a month in and stuff's already starting to pop off. So like I took my first cut off of this. I haven't bought to the position level that I want, but I will still buy up to the first pull out of that position. So I still owe myself about 300 more of these, and then the next buyout position will be at about 250%. And so we save that, put it into the wrap Bitcoin. So like that position grew. Had a little small payout on the Life Matic position, and that's growing. It's doing what it's doing. Both of these coins are up, which is nice. Well, relatively speaking. So like we're like 4% down on this one, but this has a little bit more volatility than the Polygon. But getting that Polygon position will be sitting it with this to grow. Outside of that, it's kind of pretty boring. We'll go ahead and give the top 10 here, which is obviously number 1 Ethereum, number 2 Synthetics, which we're inching up. We got 70% more before we get the first pull out on that. Yearn Y curve, which is a synthetic curve, number 3. Wrap Bitcoin, number 4. Polygon, number 5. Life, number 6. Wrapped Ethereum, number 7. Synthetic BTC, number 8. Cosmos, number 9. And Terra Luna Classic has worked its way back up since we've started removing the cash position to be rounded out at number 10. So as far as things in the news, because this is going to be kind of a little bit of a short one. I mean, we're gonna hit the target, but there's a lot of really interesting stuff going on in regards to Bitcoin. One of the things, and I think I've spoken on it before, but it merits speaking on again, is that CashApp has implemented the Lightning Network and eliminated all the fees, because the fees are basically nothing anyway. And so they're not even going to charge you for using the Lightning Network on CashApp now, which is cool. That's a big move, which means it makes more accessible. I mean, for those of you who want to buy things with Bitcoin, which I highly don't recommend, it's now made it so that the Lightning Network is expanding that so that you can make those small purchases, and it doesn't really affect you outside of like giving up something that's going to appreciate in value. Like if you're making a small purchase, you are better off using fiat currency or dollars. So that's pretty awesome. And the other piece of news that I heard while I was listening around in the cryptocurrency YouTube streets, Avalanche has more wrapped Bitcoin on it than Lightning Network has Bitcoin on it, which is interesting. But when you're looking at DeFi, people want to capture and hold that value, and that makes sense. It's a different purpose. Like it doesn't, like Lightning Network and an actual chain are not comparable. It does bring some interesting points, though. It's like I might have to go dive into Avalanche and figure out what people are doing with Bitcoin over there, because if there's some gains to be made, we might have to move some of my holdings. But I think that's going to round it out. Like good news. We'll see what's going on next week, where the stock market's up, cryptocurrency market's up. Like, unfortunately, we're not running independent of that. But as we're moving forward, hopefully we get some divergence where we can just move up on our own when the cryptocurrency market's going down. Like, that would be nice. It would make me feel better. But we're gonna end it on that note. Ways that you can support the channel: obviously liking, subscribing, commenting, giving feedback. Um, letting me know where you're at on your guys' personal journeys. Like, that'd be cool. We can have some conversations down in the chat. I don't know if you've noticed, but I do respond. Like, I fortunately, as you're starting off small, you have the leverage to respond. So I'm going to respond to every comment until I can't respond to every comment. Um, Sharing the video, obviously, also a bonus. And yeah, reach out, contact me. Obviously, the email is also good for collaborations. If we're gonna, like, I'm always looking to collaborate. I do live streams. You can catch me on Thursdays on I Seen You Little podcast channel doing a live stream. It's normally financial conversation or something educational for the first hour or two, and then we go romper room and it's whatever. I also have a release that morning that kind of will be a precedent to the topic for that day. Normally that releases, it's probably like first thing in the morning. I get up super early, so that video goes live very early on Thursday mornings, called Future Financial Strategies. And you can reach me over there. That's more generalized. There's less crypto in there, more just financial moves that I'm making. But definitely a place that you can reach out to get some additional insight and context. Until next week, it's your boy Reckless Ray De Niro, and I am out.